Walk with me.
Great is the I am, and greatly to be praised in the city of our God in the mountain of his holiness. Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion on the sides of the north, the city of the great king. God is known in her places for a refuge. For lo, the kings were assembled, and they passed by together. They saw it, and so they marveled, and they were troubled and hastened away. Fear took upon them, and pain as of a woman in travail. Thou breakest the ships of Tarshish with an east wind, as we have heard, so we have seen in the city of the I am of hosts. In the city of our God, God will establish it forever, Selah. We have thought of thy loving kindness, O God, in the midst of thy temple. According to thy name, O God, so is thy praise unto the ends of the earth, and thy right hand is full of righteousness. Let my Zion rejoice, and the daughters of Judah be glad because of thy judgments. Walk about Zion and go about her. Tell the towers thereof. Mark well her bulwarks, and consider her palaces, that ye may tell it to the generations following. For this is our God. This God is our God forever and ever. He will be our guide, even unto death. Yes, and deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have sway over the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed forever, that we go not astray from henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, those of you on TikTok and YouTube. We thank God for those of you that have been with us since the beginning and even have continued even until now. And those of you who have moseyed on in somewhere thereafter and heretofore, we thank God for you. And those of you that have just subscribed or followed, and we thank God for you. Yes, you have not come by mistake, and we thank God for you. Yes, you are precious in the sight of the Most High. And therefore, those of you that are just you about to touch that button. You want to subscribe. You want to get along with the program. You want to go on this journey. Come on in the room. Let us walk together and point out some things about the word of the Most High. Yes. And we thank God calling those things that are not as though they are. Yes. We're looking at the Passover, which is next week. Next week. After this week is the Passover. I believe it's Monday or Tuesday, one of them. And some of you wonder, how are they going to do this Passover? Well, basically, the Passover is, you really cannot do it here in the heathen land or in this part of the country, because everybody basically went to Jerusalem. And then you have those that can do it in this part of the country because you do it in your house, or you do it at whatever synagogue or whatever place or place that you set up to do it. No, you don't get no lamb chops, no pork chops. You have to do things after the way God says do it. In the book of even Jubilees, he tells you what to do. If you can't do it, just don't do it, because they've been taken away. But if you can endeavor to do these things, do it. Other than that, just have a plain old meal and just thank God with your shoes on and feet and say, we cannot do this, God, until you set up a place for us to do these things. You take a lamb, put him on a skewer, and then you strip him and everything, burn his stuff away from wherever you are. Do not use stones that's raised up by tools and all that stuff. Just make you take some stones and put them around a fire and just turn that lamb. The whole lamb, do not break any bones. This is what God has prescribed. Anything else, you're wrong. Now, we're in the book of not Jubilees, but Jasher. Yes, Jasher. Jasher. We have just read from Psalm 48. Yes, it's a favorite psalm of many, and we thank God for that. And we're in the book of Jasher, chapter 5. Chapter 5, the book of Jasher. Yes, and let's be mindful of how we can do things according that would please the Most High, and being obedient to the Most High, and not being and turn out to be an abomination to the Most High. If you're not circumcised, oh man, just leave the Passover alone. Leave it alone. No, it's just like a Christian taking the sacraments. Abomination. Got sin in their heart and sin everywhere else, and then they're going to make up their own rules when the rules tell you what to do. Don't get like that. Do it according. He said, build the temple according to the pattern that I've shown thee. Come on here. That's what he told Moses. If you can't do it, leave it alone. Now, verse 1. And it was in the 84th year of the life of Noah that Enoch the son of Seth died. Yes, Enoch lived a good old life. And he was 905 years and 5 years old at his death. Now, he lived a good life. And in the 179th year of the life of Noah, Canaan the son of Enosh died. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years old. He lived a little bit longer, and he died. Verse 3, and in those 234th year of the life of Noah, Mahalalel, the son of Canaan, died. Yeah, they're dying. And the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. Just a little shy of the first two. And Yadit, not Jadit. There's no J way back then. English language wasn't even thought of. Yadit, or whatever, Arid, the son of Mahalalel, died in those days in the 336th year of the life of Noah. And all the days of Yadit, we'll say that, were 962 years, and he died. And all who followed the I Am died in those days. Yes, when the righteous start perishing, it's time for you to start worrying. When those of you know who have been faithful to the Most High and have given their life and all they have to the Most High and walked according to his statutes, judgments, and laws, it's time to start worrying. Where do I stand in this? It's not about those who've been martyred. It's about those who have died. God, take them. Because he's being saved. He's being delivered from the time to come. And all who followed the I Am died in those days before they saw the evil which God declared to do upon the earth. And after the lapse of many years, in 480th year of the life of Noah, when all those men who followed the I Am had died away from amongst the sons of men, and only Methuselah was then left. And God said unto Noah and Methuselah, saying, speak ye and proclaim to the sons of men, saying, thus saith the I Am, return from your evil ways and forsake your works, and the I Am will repent of the evil and that he declared to do to you, so that it shall not come to pass. And the same thing is coming even to this day. God saying to the people and the inhabitants of the earth, repent, turn away from your evil, turn away from your adulteries and your idolatries and your fornications, turn away from your witchcrafts and your devil worships, turn away from them, your greed and your putting your brothers down, your murders and your rapes and all these other things that you have concocted in your mind. You do them because you think you can. You think you're going to get away with it. No, it's not going to be so. When calamities and everything come upon you, the righteous are dying, good people, you say, oh, they must have done something wrong. No, they did something right. See, the good is evil and evil is good these days. God letting you live enough so you can see the calamity that's about to happen to you. So you best be on your best behavior before the Most High according to his statutes, commandments, and laws and ordinances, because time is winding up. 10,000 years did he tell Enoch that these angels will be bound in this abyss that God had prepared for them, the watchers and these deviant angels. But after 10,000 years, they're going to be loose. See, Revelation tell you something else, but God said in that 10,000 years, they're going to be loose. Whether it be 1,900 years, 9,000, and then you got that 1,000 years, they're going to be loose either way. And it's going to be what you would call torment on earth. Yes. Verse 10, but the sons of men will not hearken to them. No, you won't hearken. You will still stick with your greeds. You will still stick with your fornications, adulteries, and all these things that you do, your manipulation, your usury, and all these things that God says do not do. He said it to the whole mankind and not just to Jacob. Not all these things. Before Jacob, these men would not obey God, so why would he even give them a law anymore? They already knew. Not only were they taught, they would not teach their sons and their daughters. There is no excuse for none of us. No excuse. He said, and I am granted them a period of 120 years. He gave them a time period before his wrath was poured out. 120 years. Saying if they will return, then the I am will repent of the evil so as not to destroy the earth. And Noah the son of Lamech refrained from taking a wife in those days to beget children, for he said, surely now God will destroy the earth, wherefore then shall I beget children. And Noah was a just man, and he was perfect in his generations. And the I am chose him to raise up seed from his seed upon the face of the earth. And the I am said to Noah, take thee a wife and beget children, for I have seen thee righteous before me in this generation. See, it's up to you, woman, you the first teacher, then you, man, to teach and train your children. You see children on social media who talk back to their parents and use the profane words, and it's funny, it's cute. They tell their little attitudes to their mothers and their fathers. Oh, it's cute. Don't you know you being set up? You setting up that child for that great notable day of God's wrath? This is why Moses, when he saw the children of Israel and how they sinned before him, he turned and fell on his face toward the Most High. Oh, forgive them. Forgive them. They don't know your power. They don't know the fear. They don't know the hideousness of the things that you will bring upon him. And even you, Jacob, should know these things. You should know, Israel, these things that God will do. Look at you, bound in chains and ships. Oh, your wives being ravished right before your eyes and even making you even breed with your own mama. You ought to know these things. But yet you look at them as a fairy tale, something in the twilight zone, where others be sit in denial, saying these things never happened. But they have, regardless of whether your people was already here or whether they came over on ships. Either way, you were slaves, period. Yes, we've missed it. We've missed it. The wrath of God is about to come. The wrath of God, his cup runneth over. You got drip, drip, drip here and there, everywhere. But there's going to come a moment of peace where you can get yourself together. Then all hellishness is going to break loose. You wonder, where in the world did this come from? No, where did you start going wrong? Now, and Noah was a just man. He was perfect in his Oh, God called him perfect. Oh, no man can be perfect and obey the statute. The same laws were back here. The watchers taught them how to sacrifice. He taught them all these things. The feast days, all back in those days, were being instituted. And the I am chose him to raise up seed from his seed upon the face of the earth. And the I am said unto Noah, take unto thee a wife and beget children, for I have seen thee righteous before me. When God sees you righteous to do those things that he hath prescribed to the children of men before him, then, even your enemies are at peace with you. Those that hate you cannot even cross you. And thou shalt raise up seed, thy children with thee in the midst of the earth. And Noah went and took a wife. He chose Naamah, the daughter of Enoch, and she was 580 years old. She was older than him. And Noah was 498 years old when he took Naamah for a wife. Apparently, she was a pretty older woman. Now, and Naamah conceived and bare a son, and he called his name Japheth, saying, God has enlarged me in the earth. And she conceived again and bare a son, and called his name Shem, saying, God hath made me a remnant to raise up seed in the midst of the earth. In other words, these are going to be the fathers of the children of men that are today, even us today. And Noah was 502 years old when Naamah bare Shem, and the boys grew up and went in the ways of the I am. They were taught, the first teacher Naamah, then their father Noah. Yes. And the boys grew up and went in the ways of the I am. And then in all that Methuselah and Noah, their father, had taught them. In other words, it passed on. One era of the children of Jacob is that they failed to teach their children. They failed to teach their children and guide them. If you can't guide them, sometimes you just have to push them, whether it be by the rod of correction or whatever God had put before you to correct your children. And there's one thing that you can tell when a society falls: women lead you and children oppress you. And Lamech, the father of Noah, died in those days, verse 19. Yet verily he did not go with all his heart in the ways of his father, and he died in the 195th year of the life of Noah. And all the days of Lamech were 770 years, and he died. And all the sons of men who knew the I Am died in that year before the I Am brought evil upon him. All the men that have ever followed the Most High died. This is going to happen before that great day. You're going to have a few that's left. Very few. Very few that really follow God, that did not listen to the ways of this world and how that your system, I don't need a man. I don't want a woman. Let's not do this thing and get married and have children. I'm going to walk out my gender because I don't feel like I was born right. All these things. I like dogs. I like bears. I like giraffes. All these things cause for the judgment of the Most High, even more so than they did back then. It have gone rampant and justified before our governments. I can say blessed is the government that do not allow these deviant behaviors to infiltrate their countries. Yes, they will try, they will ramp, they will rage, but it's better to be blessed of the Most High than be cursed and back into the same situation you were when you first started out right. And all the sons of men who knew the Lord died in that year before the I Am brought evil upon them, and for the I Am willed them to die. In other words, don't get upset when the righteous die. It's time to worry about yourself. You cannot get upset when the righteous start dying and leaving this earth. But let you know, by their fruit you will know them. Oh, why did they die so early? Why are they leaving us? I'm telling you why they're leaving you. It's for you to cry for yourself. That's why they're leaving you. Cry, cry. Oh, woe is me, most holy Sinini Nanini Tada Nzambe Yahweh Yahuwah. Hey ya. Woe is me. Show me your ways. For the righteous are dying before me that I deem righteous. They're leaving. God has taken them. They're going to be resurrected in that day. Or their spirits are going to come from that time that Enoch had shown, from the place where God had stored them until it's time. And in that time that I Am said to Noah and Methuselah, stand forth and proclaim to the sons of men all the words that I spoke to you in those days, peradventure, or perhaps they might turn from their evil ways, and I will then repent of the evil and will not bring it. And Noah and Methuselah stood forth and said in the ears of the sons of men all that God had spoke concerning them. But the sons of men will not hearken, neither would they incline their ears to all their declarations. All the layers of sin, the layers of modernity, the layers of idolatry, the layers of adultery, the layers of all kind of evil upon the earth have been put upon you. Many of you have to work through all those things that have caused mankind to go in such a degradation as he has today. Evil. And many will call the good evil and the evil good to this day. Evil. To let a murderer live even the next day after he's deemed to be guilty of what he's done. Evil. To take one who have molested a woman and have deleted her and caused her even babies and boys, and to let them live another day after they've been deemed guilty. Evil. To let a witch live. Evil. To let one who have worn out their gender and then go and infiltrate and let a little leaven the whole lump. Evil. And the earth is destroyed. With that, I'm going to say peace.